Hello and welcome to the Elevate podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Nowakowski. I am a salon owner, educator, mindset, and leadership coach that helps salon owners go from overwhelmed and burnt out to motivated and empowered. It is my mission to help you systemize your business, generate more profit, and create a career that you are absolutely in love with. Join us every week to learn about the small shifts you can make to elevate your business regarding mindset, marketing, social media, business systems, and so much more. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Elevate podcast. On today's podcast, we are going to be chatting about the shift I'm seeing in our clients when it comes to how they're feeling about our industry. I've posted about this quite often, saying that the stylist is no longer the prize, that the client is the prize. And boy, have I ever been shown that more than ever on social media. Wondering what it's like to work with me? Want to know what I've tried and tested in my salon and how you can create more freedom as a salon owner? I'm excited to offer an exciting way to get my coaching lessons to you in our podcast subscription. The Elevate Insider is an inside look into my coaching calls and includes exclusive content from me. These episodes contain coaching lessons and the exact steps you need to take to grow your salon. Plus, you'll receive special PDFs and supporting documents so that you can easily take action. To learn more and to become an insider, visit opulentbeautypro.com/insider or find an episode of the Elevate Insider on Apple Podcasts. I have never seen so many videos of just people very disappointed with the services that they're receiving. And I want to say it's not necessarily that they are complaining about our prices. What they're complaining about is that the value they're receiving is not matching what they're spending. And a lot of people complaining about pricing transparency or feeling that they have been taken advantage of or ripped off when it comes to actually receiving services. So what really prompted me to make this video is one video in particular that I came across on TikTok of a influencer. We'll just call her an influencer. She's got 424,000 followers. Her name is Victoria. And this video has gone viral. Not just her video itself, but with the amount of videos that have been stitched by other salon owners and stylists. And the salon owners and stylists pretty much are just saying that they think that the salon owner and the stylist that is, I don't want to say being attacked, but being spoken about is wrong. But people aren't really necessarily sharing what they would have done differently. And that's kind of what prompted me to make today's podcast. I think now more than ever, you really need to be on top of your game if you want to survive in this upcoming market. I think clients are being more picky than ever, and I'm seeing this myself. And clients are expecting high value for what they're spending. Clients are not complaining, for me anyway, about price. But what they are complaining about when they complain is when they're spending top dollar and they're not receiving a good service or a good experience. So I want to break down the video for you really fast. I will link the video in the show notes so you all can watch it for yourself. It's a pretty lengthy video, but definitely worth a watch if you own a salon or if you are a stylist to see the client's perspective. There are also follow-up videos to this video. She has an entire series on this situation, and I think that it is worth a watch. And it's a really good video to break down so that you don't make the same mistake in your business. Let me tell you, this is not the only viral video that I've seen. TikTok warriors are not something I would want to deal with. There was another video that went viral of somebody that I actually know, and I'm not going to go over the story or the situation, But because the client placed her in a negative light, she's gotten tons of bad reviews. And the same thing happened with this salon. They get bombarded with negative comments and phone calls. And some people have even gotten death threats from people on TikTok. I'm telling you, you do not want to go viral in a negative way as a business owner on this platform. It is intense. And I will say it does go away, like everything does fade, but that is definitely not something that I'd want to deal with. And actually seeing these things happen on this platform has really kind of made me self-reflect and really think about my own customer servicing and my own client experience in the salon to ensure that the people that are leaving are truly feeling valued and that they are feeling that they are getting a great service and that that service matches the price point that they're paying. Okay, so let's break down this video. First, I want to say that this influencer, again, has 424,000 followers. That is insane. But pretty much in the video, she shares that she was being harassed by her old stylist. The stylist sent her text messages, was commenting on her posts in a negative way, and was DMing her inappropriate, rude comments or conversations. Let's just say that. This stylist also charges hourly pricing. And this is another thing that I want to chat about because Victoria went out of her way to find a salon after this experience that did not charge hourly because of the way this pricing structure was and how she was affected by it. So Victoria visited this salon about a year ago. She said that when she booked the appointment, she had to put down I think it was like a $200 deposit. And then the day of the service was going to be another $200. She was expecting to pay $500 for the entire service. She was getting a highlight and she was getting a haircut. And then that had also included gratuity. So she had planned on spending about $500. When Victoria went into the salon and got her service done, when the stylist was blow drying her hair, Victoria was not happy with the result. She said it wasn't light enough, so she asked if the stylist could adjust it before she left. And the stylist said yes. The stylist adjusted her hair, and then when she went to go check out, instead of paying an additional $200, her cost was now $500. So she went from expecting to pay $500 for her hair to $800 for her hair. Now, I would like to preface that she did not care about the pricing. What she did care about was that the pricing was not transparent. She was not expecting to pay more. She was new to the salon. I believe she was new to New York, so she wasn't sure what New York prices were going to be. So she paid, and she said that, she was happy with her hair, but she just was kind of sticker shocked at checkout. Time rolls by. About a year later, she reaches out to the stylist again because she would like to get her hair done again. And she asked the stylist how much it was going to be. The stylist could not give her an exact price. So Victoria decided to make a video and said, this is what I would like done with my hair. How much does this cost? Is this a good price? I'm new to this area. I would really just like to know what to expect or, know what a standard price is for this look I'm going for. Mind you, she's still in conversation with this other stylist and she decides not to book with the stylist because the stylist couldn't give her an exact price point. After the stylist sees Victoria's post, she sends her a text message explaining herself and why her prices were what they were, starts commenting on Victoria's video that she had just posted, and then sends Victoria a DM. So essentially, she's harassing her. Victoria's upset for a few reasons. One, how does this stylist have her personal information? She is somebody who is well known, obviously, with that many followers. She doesn't want people having her private information. And of course, who wants to be harassed because they are creating content, right? So she goes more into detail. I highly recommend that you go and watch the video and then come back and re-listen to my podcast. I totally see where she's coming from. So fast forward, she makes the video and it blows up. The salon owner sends Victoria, after the video goes viral, an email, and then also makes a rebuttal video because I'm assuming that she's getting comments and getting harassed on TikTok now. And in Victoria's follow-up video, she says it was very insincere and that it wasn't accepted because of the way things were worded. And then also the manager made a video saying that they let this stylist go. So there are a lot of issues happening in this whole interaction and in this whole cycle of videos that are being posted. So that is the breakdown of what the content was. Now I want to break down what I would have done differently if this was my salon. 1, I want to talk about training and I want to talk about consultations. One of the things that is very important, no matter what your pricing structure is being able to explain to clients that if there is going to be a price adjustment, or if there is going to be something that is added on, that 100% has to be communicated to the client. I am very clear with my team members that we need to be very transparent with our pricing. So that is the one thing that I want to comment on. Again, Tori wasn't upset about the pricing. She was upset that it wasn't clear and transparent. 2, again, going back to the consultation, was a proper consultation done to see and to make sure the client was happy the first time, so that the stylist didn't have to adjust her hair before she left, which is what created the higher price point in the first place. So was it communicated that she would need a double lightening service because her hair was possibly too dark? Was it the stylist technique that didn't get the client to where she wanted to be? Did they go over pictures? Did the stylist understand what she wanted before she started the service? It always goes back to consultation. If the stylist needed to charge her more because it was the client's issue when it came to having to do the adjustment, then again, that needs to be expressed to the client. Now, that is from the stylist standpoint in that first video. From a salon owner standpoint, I want to know everyone that's coming into my business, especially people who have influence on social media. I know a lot of my stylists will look people up before they come in. They'll email people before they actually come in to get a current picture of their hair and an inspiration picture so that they can pre-plan for the client's appointment. But if I knew that somebody was coming into my business that was an influencer on social media, now mind you, every single client walking through my door is as important as somebody who has a large following. Don't get me wrong there. But if I knew that someone had a large following and that they were coming into my business, I would make sure that my stylist really knew what they were doing before that person sat in the chair. And I would make sure that the client experience was top notch. Every single person walking in my door should be treated like an influencer. My team knows that. But if we have somebody like this coming into the salon, we definitely prepare. Now, if somebody spent $800 in my salon, you absolutely bet that that person is going to get a follow-up message the following Monday from my client coordinator. We follow up with clients all the time because a lot of people, if they are unhappy with something, they will not reach out to the salon to share their disappointment or to share that they are not happy with the experience. By reaching out to people, especially new clients, and by reaching out to people who are paying a hefty price point, it allows you to give the client the opportunity to share any disappointment that they might have, that they may not have shared with you if you did not reach out. We want to solve the problem and we want to make it as easy as possible. We really want the client to know that they're valued, and I want to retain that client. Being a salon owner and being a hairstylist is all about client retention. You all know how hard it is to get a client to sit in your chair. So we want to do everything in our power to make sure that client returns. Now, this client, again, she reached out to this stylist to have her do her hair again, which I have to say is insightful because my friend Shelly and I just did a poll and we asked people how many chances they would give their hairstylist. I talked about this in my last podcast and they said 2. So even though this girl felt like she was overcharged, she was still willing to give this stylist a chance for a second time. Obviously, the stylist ruined that. But I just think it's interesting she was still willing to come back, right? Client retention is everything. Now, I would have reached out to the client. I would have made sure that they were happy. If they were not happy, and if that client was like, I feel like I was overcharged, I would have a conversation with my stylist to see what happened, because I always talk to my stylist to see where they're at, because my stylist is just as important as the client sitting in our chair. My customer is my hairstylist, right? The hairstylist customer is the client. It's the way that the system works, and it's the way that the business funnel works for salons, right? If this client wasn't happy, I would do some investigating, and then I possibly would have the client come back for maybe a free service, a free blowout, maybe a free toner refresh to make sure, because she talked about how the stylist wanted her to come back to keep her hair from brassing out. Maybe I would offer her that for free. Maybe I would give her some free products for the inconvenience. If it was my stylist's fault and my stylist did not have that conversation, or if it wasn't in our client contract where it's very clear of our policies and procedures, I may even do a refund to make sure that this client was happy and so that this client came back. Instead of actually doing a refund, maybe it would just be a gift certificate. So that is how I would handle the very first portion. Now, one of the things that the client, Victoria, was very upset about was having access to her private information. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I have said before. So many stylists want to go into the system and they want to pull clients' information and they want access to their clients' information. You better make sure that the client gives permission, because a lot of people, especially nowadays more than ever, really want privacy when it comes to their phone number, when it comes to their email, when it comes to any information that is shared with a business and not a stylist. So salon owners, you better be really careful with that. Now, say I didn't follow up with this client. Let's just say the client said she was happy. She never shared that she was, disappointed with this. And then this interaction happened with, let's just say if this was my stylist and her. You better be sure that I am personally calling that client. And again, doing everything in my power to make that client feel safe in my business, to make sure that they feel safe that I have their client information. I would be giving the most sincere apology, if not me, my manager. And I would have a conversation with my stylist. And to be honest, I may even fire my stylist if they harassed somebody via text message, on social, and through the DMs, because that goes against my culture, first of all, because we don't own people and we are emotionally intelligent in my salon, and we don't have that type of reactive behavior because I train my team and we talk about situations like this and how to respond. I know if this happened to one of my team members, my team member would have come to me for guidance. So there's trust built there with my team. And my team asks me for advice and how to handle situations. So I think that goes back to leadership. Depending on the situation, I may have let my stylist go too. I would not share that on social media. The manager sharing because she felt that she had to make sure that she put everyone at bay because people, I'm sure, would not stop messaging them. So sharing that she fired the stylist was probably a form of protection for, I don't know, their reviews or whatever it is that was happening to them. But that looks really bad, especially for that stylist. All in all, this situation is terrible. All in all, it is something that will live on the internet forever. And it's unfortunate because this salon now lost, I'm sure, one of their top stylists, and now is probably trying to pick up the pieces with the rest of their team because the whole team is affected. And it is something that we just have to be so conscious of when it comes to how we portray ourselves now in public, on social media, and with our clients. Because it literally just takes one video for everything to become a mess. Again, brought some light to even some of my behaviors. I have said this in past podcasts, like I am not a customer servicer. I have my manager handle these situations because she's calmer and she is more rational when it comes to certain things. And I am definitely more on the reactive side, especially when it comes to me feeling like I have to protect one of my team members. I'm very protective of my team, but I know my team and my team is incredible. So I have a balance of what I can do in these situations, and the things that I can't do, I have someone trusted in my business to handle them. So if you are not somebody who is good at customer servicing or handling client conflict, then you need to hire somebody to do it for you. So that way this is handled in your business. So that is my advice. That is what I would have done differently. And a lot of these clients are really just showcasing poor technical skills to the prices that they're charged. So please, if you have stylists or if you are a stylist listening, there is no reason why you should not be working on your technical skills. If your value does not match your price point, then you need to change and adjust your pricing so it does. If your client experience is not top dollar, then you cannot charge top dollar. And there are so many things that go into what client experience is. It's the way you dress. It's the way you speak. It's your technique. It is the way the client feels with you in your chair. It is the service from before they walk in the door, while they're in your chair, and after they leave. It is a whole cycle that needs to be done perfectly in order to be able to charge a top dollar price. You need to find the holes and gaps in that so that you can close them so you can be worth the price point you want to charge. Okay, I hope today's podcast was beneficial, and I hope that you will take a look and do some self-reflection to see some areas that you need to shift in your business so that you can truly charge the prices that you want, and so you can create a repeat guest and you can have a busy, thriving, successful business. Share this with your salon owner bestie. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review, and we will be talking to you next week. Thanks for tuning in to the Elevate podcast. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a review on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen. The Elevate podcast is hosted by me, Patricia Nowakowski, and is produced by Opulent Beauty Pro. To receive my free business guides, visit opulentbeautypro.com/free or click the link in the show notes. You can find me on Instagram at Opulent Beauty Pro or at Patricia_Nowakowski_OBS. If you love this show, please consider subscribing, and we will see you next week.